Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
All right, party people. It is Thursday night, Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my buddy James. Just a couple of dudes hanging out, talking about what's going on in the NFL each week. We've had a few off weeks, schedule wise, things going on. Last week was the NFL draft. So tonight, we're going to give you guys basically just a skim through in it, first round sort of recap, what we liked, what we didn't like, all that kind of fun stuff. So, with all that being said, how's it going there tonight, James?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
It's going, man. It's going. Just hanging, dude. All right. So, whatever the noise is, the Las Vegas Raiders on the clock.
Well, first we got to get our views up. So let's talk about what's going on publicly. Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel. There we go. Okay, first on the clock.
Yeah. I guess
the end. That's all I have to say about it.
Who says the off season's boring, James? I don't know. It seems like it's getting pretty spicy, if you ask me.
All right. Then we can go to the Raiders. Obvious pick, obvious need. I don't have much to say about it. I think Mendoza is ready to start. Watching him in college, I think he's ready to start right now in the NFL. He was obviously the best quarterback in the draft. Biggest need of the Raiders. They had nobody. Well, they had Cousins, who is really signed to be a backup in case Mendoza fucking fails.
Yeah. I mean, I like the pick. I mean, I think it was the obvious pick. It was their biggest need. Mendoza was the number 2 prospect on Scout Inc.'s list, tied with the top rating at 92. And everything I'm hearing is that the plan is absolutely for Cousins to start. They don't want to rush Mendoza. And I think it's wise, right? Because you have a brand spanking new offensive line, basically, that was like just dog shit last year.
Yeah,
do you really want to throw a rookie in when you don't really know if the offensive line is like up to par yet? I think that a guy like Cousins is better suited to handle that kind of pressure and speed. And when they feel like the line is there, and when they feel like Mendoza is there, they can work his way in. I think that it's smart. It's a slow and steady approach. Normally, this high of a pick would start right away, but I like the way that they're looking at it. And we know from past history, like Cousins' early days in Minnesota, he can handle playing behind a crap offensive line. He can make the reads quickly, get the ball out quickly. I just think that it's a safer, smarter thing to do than to throw Mendoza in, drop him in the deep end, and maybe, shell shock him if the offensive line's that bad. And it might be better than, way better than last year. That's what they're hoping. It just, I'm just saying, I think it's smart to not take the chance.
Yeah, and I also with Mendoza, I respect him. I respect his decision not to be at the draft, even though he was invited. And the league fucking pulled out all the stops to get him to go to the draft.
Okay.
Like they even had Peyton Manning fucking call him and try to convince him to go to the draft. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm good. My mom, she has MS. It's difficult for her to travel. I want to be at home with my family. For it, respect for that. It's like he made a side comment. He's like, I've already met Peyton Manning. I don't need to meet him at the draft.
Yeah. No, hey, good for him, man. He's his own man. He's making a decision that's right for him and his family. And I get it. It's a big event. There's stuff going on, but you still got to be who you are and do what's best for you. So
yeah, and I think I like his work ethic. There's all sorts of stories coming out now of shit. Like I had told some of it earlier with like he studied. He asked the coaches when he transferred to Indiana. He asked the coaches to send him a picture of every player so he could associate the player's face with the name. So when he showed up day one, he knew who everybody was. Other stuff I'm hearing now is like when he was graduated high school and he was going to be going to Cal, he fucking called Kurt Warner up and worked out all summer with Kurt Warner to so he would be ready. Just like shit like that. Like it's his work ethic is seems amazing. I think they have a gem in him. I think their long term future at quarterback is wrapped up.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I mean, you look at just the trio now of Tom Brady in the ownership room.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins is the sort of like the incumbent for the moment, and then him is the franchise guy. Those are obviously Brady's the GOAT, but Cousins in its own is a later round pick that worked his tail off to become a starter for 10 plus years in the league. That's a great guy to have learning from and following that work ethic, especially when you're coming in already having the work ethic. I just think that it's his growth and development could be like very well accelerated in the
Mm-hmm.
environment that he's landing in.
No, yes, exactly. But I'm also saying though, like some of that growth and development comes from the person he is and
Yeah, it's
his
just who
work
he
ethic.
is. But
Like
yeah,
his ethic is fucking amazing. Unlike Kyler Murray, who they had to fucking
yeah, video
put a
game
clause
clause.
in
Yeah.
his contract that he had
Well, they
a
tried.
study clause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tried. I don't think they really took it out. I think they just him and Kyler they slid him a
Sure.
couple some money and said tell just
Yeah.
we're gonna
Everybody
say we
just
took
shut
it
up.
out. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to two here, man, with the Jets, because this one, um, I don't know. I think you were saying you liked the pick. Is that right?
Yeah,
When we
I
were
like the pick
talking?
with Bailey. I think so. So the difference between the two is like Arvel Reese is ready now, has
Yeah.
a lower ceiling.
I mean, yeah,
David
but David
Bailey,
Bailey, yeah, David Bailey was the third ranked prospect on ScoutSync. So
right,
it's not like it was some big reach, right?
right.
But you're
But
saying you think he has the higher ceiling long
I think
term.
he has a higher ceiling long term, which
Okay.
is the right play. Like with the Jets, they obviously edge was one of their biggest needs, and they picked a guy that could be a long term solution at edge,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody that's going to flash right away and is basically at where he's going to be.
Yeah, and that's all good with me. I think that the Jets needed to address the defense, and
Mm-hmm.
I like that they went with a trench guy because that's a model that you and I talk a lot about. Um, my only thing was just that they canceled the top 20 visit with him. And I just thought, like, why? Like I get it. You were telling me over chat, before, well, hey, maybe they know everything they need to know about the guy. They're happy, they're comfortable, whatever. To me, it just seemed weird where it's like you're not really worried about somebody jumping up in front of you and getting him at one. So why wouldn't you just have that top 20 visit just to like solidify things and maybe take it as an opportunity to build a little bit more chemistry with the guy or whatever. It just to me seemed like a missed opportunity. If you knew you were going to go get him anyhow, why not? Why not just have that visit? Because there's no threat of somebody else stealing him from you.
Well, the thing with it is, and where I disagree with you is the Jets had a couple first round picks, and if
Oh, so they wanted to maybe see somebody else for a later pick, you're saying.
exactly, so if I
All
already
right.
know
All right.
if I already know I'm taking, let's say I'm the Jets,
Yeah.
already know I'm drafting you. I don't need to visit with you, but I don't know who I'm going to draft at. What was it 20? I don't know who I'm going to draft at 20 or whatever the
And then
fuck
they
it was
did trade
16.
back in for a third pick in the first round.
Yeah,
So I gotcha. No, I guess that makes more sense now to me thinking about it that way. Okay.
yeah, it gave them the opportunity to do that work because they can only bring X amount of players in, and so it gave them that
Hmm.
extra spot to do the work that they needed to do to figure out their other picks.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. All right. I'm good with that.
Uh, then we go to Arizona.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Jeremiah Love can't be a fucking solid running back in the league. Right now, he is like the seventh highest paid running back in the league.
Yeah, you're putting such a massive expectation on a guy that hasn't proven anything yet. And, you know, it's tough, right? Because I mean, he wasn't even running back wasn't even in one of their top needs. They had
Mm.
quarterback, offensive line, edge, defensive line, linebacker. They still have James Conner. I know he got hurt last year, and so maybe they needed to hedge their bet. This would be an upgrade, not even a hedge. But yeah, it seemed to me like they could have gotten a lot more value going elsewhere. It's a luxury pick for a team that's not in position to take the luxury pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to build your foundation and then go and get your running back, not get your running back and hope that the foundation just kind of like forms around him. It's like Saquon Barkley with the Giants, man. You're going to draft a guy that high when you know the team has like 15 other higher pressing needs.
Yeah, exactly. And also like there was a clear pick here, whichever one of the edge guys that the Jets didn't take, whether it was Reese or it was
Yeah.
what the fuck's his name? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Uh, Reese or we just talked about Bailey. Whichever one the Jets didn't pick, that was their clear pick.
Yeah.
Like that was the path. That was that hit a big time need. The offensive tackles. I think it had been a little bit too early to take that. I hate the pick.
Yeah. I think, Jeremiah Love might be a phenomenal running back, but, you know, he's going into sort of a bad situation, and he's going into a place where the team really had bigger needs to have sort of like cornerstone pieces for the future. And so, yeah, like you said, he's going to be, what'd you say, the seventh highest paid running back before
Mm-hmm.
he even touches the ball. So, it's asking a lot of him, man. He's basically got to come in and be phenomenal right out the gate when the team around him is not conducive for that. So,
And then and then you have the Titans. I hate Carnell Tate here. Like it's a big reach. Yeah, it was a quote unquote need of theirs. But especially when Reese didn't go to Arizona,
yeah,
like that's the clear cut fucking pick for them. Like you
yeah.
don't reach for a wide receiver when you have a guy like Reese sitting there.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the mock draft that, I was worried that Salah was going to go 0 for 2 with his first draft with
Mm-hmm.
the team, because he did the same thing when he was with the Jets in that first draft, and now he does it here in Tennessee with the first draft. It's like, hey man, you're a defensive minded guy, build your defense and then worry about your offense. Instead, they go the opposite, which is, well, we've got a franchise quarterback that's young, and we want to give him a weapon to maybe help him succeed. I understand the logic. I just would have gone with the edge guy with the way that the board fell, just like you're saying.
Yeah.
And Tate might be great, man. He might be great. I just would have done it the other way. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would have like it hit a need, but you got to go with Reese here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we talked about it. Build from the trenches. Okay. Like, honestly, even if you were thinking about going offense, I might have been more comfortable getting one of those top offensive linemen, because the
Mm-hmm.
idea is you're going to give him maybe just like that extra fraction of a second to think about it before he throws the ball. Like, you can help him in a way that helps the rest of the team, because now you have a stronger line for the running game too and whatever else. But that's okay. They did what they did, and they ended up coming back and sort of like making up for it, I think, a little bit later, but we'll get to that in a minute.
And then we have the Giants. Well, technically, I don't know if I don't think Edge was that big of a need for the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, they
You
needed help on the defensive line. It was just, where were they going to do it? Because Dexter Lawrence left in the trade. He's obviously an interior guy. Going for an edge guy gets you an outside guy. They already have Burns. They've got Thibodeau.
They
It's
got
kind of
Abdul
like,
Carter.
yeah. So it's like you've got a lot of redundancy here now. Um, but I'll be honest, man, I like it. It to me, it's a John
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh kind of pick. It says, I want that defensive line to be insane and have insane depth. And it sounds like they're planning on having Reese actually play at linebacker and not be on the line. And so like he's going to rotate at the various linebacker spots, which, if he can be sort of like that chess piece in the middle of the defense like that, then, this could just be like a perfect John Harbaugh kind of pick, man. And so I don't know. I'm encouraged by it is all I'm saying.
I'm encouraged by it, and we talked about it. Like even, and we'll get to it a little bit further. I think the Giants had a fucking amazing draft.
Yeah, I was digging it. Yeah.
I think this old stigma of Joe Shane and the Giants always fucking up is it with Harbaugh what Harbaugh did, and Harbaugh stepped in and was like, no, we're taking this guy, and they took it. It was a no brainer to take Reese. Like really, like even if you're turning it around for more capital down the
Yeah.
line, it's still like you have at 5. If the number one rated player on the board is still there, you
Yeah,
can't pass that up.
you're getting good value, especially when you know you can use them. So, you know, and that's the thing I like the most about it is that, Harbaugh came out later on because what's his face at receiver Neighbors was kind of calling him out on it a little bit. And he said that after the two of them met and he talked to him about all the ways that they're planning on using Arvell Reese, Neighbors was like 100% fully on board with it. Like, oh my gosh, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even think about it like that. Right. And so, some of it is just trust the process. You brought in John Harbaugh for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next up, my man, oh yeah, I was just looking at our sheet here and it had the Browns next, but they traded. And so we're on to the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs, they had 8. I think they had to get ahead of New Orleans. Sorry, I drew a blank because cornerback
Sure.
was in need. I don't think if they sat there at 9, they would have gotten the top corner on the board.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think that they know that they're still a target, right? Because they've been a threat to win the Super Bowl so many years now that any team could be, hey, what's the Chiefs' biggest need? Cornerback? Well, it's ours
mhm,
too. Let's go and snipe them, right? And
mhm.
um, so yeah, I think it was all right that they traded up. I guess my thing is that it's risky, right? Cornerback is the biggest bust rate for a first round pick, and so it's a huge need for them, and hopefully it works out for them. It just it was weird to me. It's almost like don't trade away your guys. You had proven guys, but I get it. There's cap issues and whatever else going on in life. And so it's all right. They did what they had to do.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. I can't disagree with what they did. I mean, it was big need. I don't know if he would have been there at 9.
Yeah.
And I wanted to look up what the trade was. I didn't actually,
Yeah, I suppose that does kind of help to put it all in context, right?
because they also traded up to get McDuffie when they signed him that they just traded. All right, let me get down.
Sure.
Cleveland traded 6 overall to Kansas City, a first, third, and a fifth. That's not that bad. You could get something in the third, but the fifth, it's not that bad. It's a little bit much to move up 3 spots.
Yeah, yeah.
But but to get the guy you're targeting, I can understand it.
It's because you're still in the top 10 picks. You got to give up something. So
Yeah.
it's all right. So then at 7, man, you had Washington grab Sonny Styles. And we had kind of talked about the concept of something like that in the mock draft.
Hmm.
Going out, getting your Bobby Wagner replacement. Um, I'm not like totally sold that Styles fits the Bobby Wagner mold per se, but I think he will fit that role with Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah, but also like I think it's not that much of a stretch when you look at what ESPN has or what Matt Miller's pro comp for Sonny Styles is. I don't know if it's that much of a stretch for him to fit the Bobby Wagner type role. I mean, the
Yeah.
comp is Fred Warner, so
Yeah, no, no. I guess I'm saying that. I guess I don't know how to put it. I don't. I guess maybe when Bobby Wagner was younger, he was a little bit more athletic, right? But I see Bobby Wagner as a more traditional kind of like inside linebacker with a little bit of a thumper kind of deal going on. Sonny Styles, I think the Fred Warner thing fits better where it's maybe a little bit more east west rangy
mhm.
with the athleticism, right? But I think that in terms of the role on that defense, he's going to fit it anyhow. It's just a slightly different style. That's all I'm getting at.
I gotcha.
And it was a lower need, right? They had linebacker as their fifth need, but I think it was too big of a bang for the buck to not take it here.
No, exactly, and it fit perfectly overall ranking. Um, it was a need. I don't know if
Yeah,
you're going to get much better than that. I think any of the other needs would be a little bit of a reach.
yeah. I mean, you could go offensive line. You have injury issues now with Jaden Daniels, but um, you know, I like hey, Dan Quinn, defensive guy, get your quarterback your defense, man. So then we go to 8. We got the Saints took wide receiver Jordan Tyson. This one, you know, I was a little bit torn on, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
like the idea that you're going to pair Olave with Tyson and give Tyler Shogue some weapons. And you've got, Kellen Moore saying, I need a little bit more horsepower in this offense. To me, some of that's like, okay, I think that he has a vision, and this is going to help get his vision offensively out there, which I have a hard time arguing with. It's just that, man, one of these days they're going to have to start replacing some of these edge guys, man. And
Uh-huh.
so, or whoever else. Like, I mean, hey, Ruben Bain was still sitting there, like, and if you didn't want to go Ruben Bain, you need help at cornerback. You need help, on the offensive line. It just seems like wide receiver when you already have Olave. I just thought it could have been a lower priority pick, but that's okay. I get it. Kellen Moore wants to win with offense, and so I can't knock it too much. I'm just a little bit off
I
on it,
can
right?
I can. It's a bit of a reach, especially when you're looking at your number two guy. You're not you should not be drafting your number two wide receiver in the top 10 at all. I don't care if we want to win with offense. You don't want your number two receiver in the top 10 because when it comes time in 5 years, you're not going to be able to pay him. Well, I mean the cap's fake and New Orleans knows how to manipulate it like the best of them, but
Yeah.
still, like 5 years, how are you going to pay Shug? How are you going to pay Shug, Olave, and Tyson? How the fuck are you going to pay those three?
Well, they're just hoping for capflation and fake cap, and they'll figure it out, you know. But I hear what you're saying, man. It's a bold strategy, but it goes back to a lot of what you and I talked about. It's like we would always go trenches first and then work our way out. This is one where You got a guy saying, no, 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 I'm going all offense because that's who I am and that's how we're going to get it done. And I mean, hey, they did play pretty darn good with Shogue last year. Um, so I don't know. I want to see what it does. Now they got ETN in there paired with Kamara in the backfield. Let's see what they can do by stacking the offense a little bit.
Well, yeah, and Etienne's just a wide receiver too.
Yeah, so they got their top three wideouts. All right, what do we got? Less than a minute here. How about I shut us down and we'll come back in 10, my man.
All right, sounds good.
Hit it, but I must
There
have
we go.
missed it. Now we're back.
All right. We're on to the Browns.
Yes.
This is probably one of the another pick that I hate. Yes, it meets a need.
I mean, it seemed like the fans were digging it, right? And that's fine because they've like totally dismantled their offensive line in recent years.
But the player that went right after this one,
That's the one you liked.
that's the one I wanted them to pick.
Um, so yeah, I guess Fano was what, the 19th on ESPN's best available. Malgua, however you say his name, was fifth. And so yeah, I mean you're talking a 91 rating versus an 88. Um, but why did they like him over the other guy? That's the question. I mean, Fano's played both right and left tackle. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's the fact that Moyaga is mostly a or mostly a right tackle.
That would make sense then. They wanted their franchise left tackle.
But still, you want your franchise left tackle. Proctor.
Yeah, but
I guess I'm
Proctor,
splitting hairs there. I'm
yeah,
splitting hairs there.
and Proctor, he was like the biggest risk reward offensive lineman, right? And so, some teams were, what I heard is some teams basically crossed Proctor off the board because they saw him as Mekhi Becton 2.0, and they were worried that he's going to eat his way out of the league.
I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, hey, you now have a whole freaking just I don't even know what you want to call it, a quarterbacks. So you better get an offensive line to protect them. I like the pick. I do. I think it's good to fortify the offensive line, especially because they're going to have to try and make one of these quarterbacks work. But also, you
Which speaking of that, rumors are coming out of Cleveland that Deshaun Watson is way ahead of Shador.
I mean, we'll see. The last time Watson played in a game, oh my gosh, he was not good. But my other thing is, you got what's his face at running back last year that ended up being really good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to help open up some more holes, which is going to also take pressure off the quarterback, control some of the tempo of the game. I think it's a solid pick overall.
Okay. Then we
You're just
have.
you're just giving it to me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You kind of convinced me with the Proctor. I hadn't read that about Proctor. I thought Proctor was better,
I
but
got you.
I can see that the concern of eating himself out of the league.
Yeah, and I mean he could end up being amazing, right? Miami took him at 12, so they see something in him. But I know that, some of the analysts were saying teams were scared of him, that they think he maybe has like easily the highest potential of the tackles in this class, but also a huge risk that it may not last. So
Yeah. All right. Then we have the Giants, which was this did they what was that
was this
trade?
the Dexter Lawrence pick they traded to
Yes.
Cincinnati?
Yes, this was the Dexter Lawrence pick. And the Giants went with uh
Your
Moyaga,
offensive lineman, man.
who what I'm reading, they're gonna slide him inside to guard.
If that's where they get the most bang for their buck, let them do it. Jackson Dart, he showed flashes last year.
Mhm.
You know, protect him and then open up some running lanes. It's another one where similar to what Cleveland's got going on, except that I think even better because they got a better quarterback. It's a win-win for a lot on this team.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm fine with taking a guard here. Like we talk about the trenches all the time, and that's what they did. They
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a need, defensive line, offensive line.
mhm.
I mean I mean I guess linebacker was their fourth need, which is what they're doing with Reese, but um I think they did well for themselves there, man. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm good. I think the Giants, like again, I'll keep saying it. The Giants had a great draft.
Yeah. So now you got your favorite team, the Cowboys, taking Caleb Downs at safety. What'd you think about that pick?
They traded up to take Caleb Downs at safety.
Yeah.
Which what it tells me is Miami was offensive line all the way here, because if they were going safety, which was a need, they wouldn't have traded with Dallas, knowing Dallas had a need at a corner, huh? Well, I think it was. Oh wait, we never mind. We skipped Miami. Oh wait, no, we didn't. I
Yeah, I
looked
was
at the
like,
wrong
wait, no,
sheet.
Miami's next, man. Yeah.
No, I just said that, and then I look and I see Proctor's next after Moyaga, and I had something else open, and I just got my tabs confused.
It's all good. So yeah, I mean, Caleb Downs at safety, 11 to the Cowboys. Here's the thing. Caleb Downs was the number 6 prospect on the board. And I know, you say, oh, well, look at what Seattle did with, Amon Warrior or whatever last year. And, some of these safeties can be transformational for a defense. And Dallas needed help on the defensive side of the ball. That's fine and dandy, man. But I don't know, dude. To me, there is still positional value that you have to watch out for. And
Mm-hmm.
safeties typically are not this high. And so it's not the end of the world, but it almost goes back to kind of what you were saying about Jeremiah Love. He's going to come in and be such a high top paid running back that he has to perform or he's going to immediately get a bust label. I think the same thing's going to happen with Caleb Downs. If he doesn't come out of the gate just freaking running, it's a lot of pressure to put on a guy, man, that, I don't know. Safeties just normally do not go this high, and that's for a reason. So, and I don't want to take anything away from him. I think he, had a phenomenal, profile. I just, and I will say this: I had a similar thing when the Lions took Jack Campbell. I thought, oh my gosh, traditional inside linebackers, you usually don't go up and grab them that high, especially when he had a day 2 grade. But the difference here is that I guess Caleb Downs did have an extremely high grade, and so at least they're getting that.
Yeah, at least they're getting that. But I don't think it really hits a need.
No, no, it was them just taking the best on the board, I guess.
Yeah,
And
and trading up for the best on the board, which doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Like at that point, like let the draft come to you a little bit. All right. Then we have what the fuck are they doing?
you talking about the Dolphins?
Oh,
So
never
so they
mind. I'm
obviously
looking at it.
oh
I look at one. I skipped the Dolphins. I kind of already hit Proctor.
that's
I
fine. Yeah,
like
we can.
I
Yeah, go
like the
ahead.
pick with it hit a need. I like the fact that they traded, got a little bit more assets because they need a lot of players. They got 2 5th rounds.
Yeah, did we talk about them already in one of the previous episodes that they're going to have more money paid to players that aren't on the team
Mm-hmm.
than they will on the team this year. That is freaking nuts that you could even let that happen.
Yeah. And it's just like I liked Proctor. I hear your concerns about it.
I hope he's amazing. I like the highlights. I like everything I see on him. All I'm just saying is that, I'm just reporting that I've seen these analysts say, hey, this could be Mekhi Becton 2.0, which is scaring the crap out of teams. And so, I hope he doesn't go that way because I think he looks great, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's huge. And honestly, for his size, he moves incredibly well,
And there's talk about possibly moving him into guard.
which would be nuts because isn't he like
He's 350,
6'6"?
6'6", 350.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Then we have what the fuck are they doing?
Uh,
Like seriously, what the fuck?
it's not a win now kind of play, is it?
No. And their hopes is winning now. They were right there. They were on the cusp of of possibly being a Super Bowl team
Yeah,
last year and winning the Super Bowl. You gotta yeah, you gotta draft for your future. But when you have Matthew Stafford there and you don't know when he's going, like just write it out. And what
yeah.
happened to the fuck them picks mentality they had? Well,
Yeah,
apparently they still have that mentality. Here's the thing I read weeks ago. Apparently, the Rams went to Matthew Stafford and told them, "We're considering this. He's going for your backup, your replacement when you retire."
yeah,
And weeks ago, which is completely different than what Atlanta did two
yeah.
years ago
With
to fucking
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, yeah. So at least they handled it in an appropriate manner, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's I don't care how much you like him. Your Super Bowl window is like this
Mm-hmm.
close to closing, but you have all the pieces to maybe take a shot this year. Just get one more guy to
Yeah.
supplement
And
it.
they traded. They had going in the offseason, they had two first round picks. They traded their other first round pick for McDuffie, which is going to make an impact
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. And so maybe they were blending the two strategies, but and I do like what I see with Ty Simpson. I know it's not like a huge resume, but it's like, okay, you're going to get him. He's going to sit behind Stafford. He's got McVay teaching him. That's fine. That's going to help you for the future. But I'm with you. I would have preferred them to go and get an offensive lineman to help keep Stafford clean this year and, more running lanes, everything you need because you already addressed a key piece on defense. And if you didn't want to do that, maybe you get one of these better receivers that could still be available, something that's going to give you something to make a run
Mm-hmm.
this year. But they wanted to zig when we thought they'd zag, man.
All right. And we have the sad pick.
I'll let you pronounce his name.
Ione.
Oh, I wanted you to pronounce the first name too, but okay.
Ole, Oliva Vega.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Um, I and I told you I thought the Lions had to trade up a few spots to
Yeah.
get him. And I thought they had to trade up a little bit further, but still
Yeah, I
I
wanted
like
this guy, man.
I agree with you. I wanted him. I I like the pick for Baltimore. It addresses an instant need.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially when you don't know who's going to be uh lining up at center. You might as well
mhm.
have a rock star at guard to take some of the pressure off,
Well,
right?
that plus their guards last year were bottom of the league.
Yeah. And it's yeah, it's I think it's a great pick. It just, I'm with you. I wanted the Lions to land this guy, man. He gives me Quentin Nelson vibes, right? Where
Hmm.
I mean, he could be out the gate like a darn near freaking all pro, man. And it doesn't always work out that way, but it just everything I've seen on this guy is that he's like a freaking rare guard, man.
Hmm. Exactly. All right, then we have another sad pick.
Yeah, it
Because after the guard went off the board, I was
yeah.
like, okay, let's. We got Bain Jr. still there. We could draft him.
Yeah, and I think the part of this one that burns me the most is that since the draft, the more tape I watch on this guy,
Hmm.
the more it just makes me think, oh, we were so close, but so far. Oh,
Yeah, I think. First of all, it hit one of the big needs for Tampa Bay. I think
yeah.
they got a stud in a player here that's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, their
And they got a
top
lot
need.
of value. They got a
Yeah,
lot of value here too.
yep, he was the number nine prospect, addresses their top need. The thing I like about it is that Ruben Bain Jr. is, like sometimes you'll see these edge guys that are like in like the 240-ish range, kind of thinner, right? This guy's 260, man. He's going to hold up well no matter what Todd Bowles does with him.
Hmm. Yeah, the one concern about him is apparently his arms are short, and this set is interesting. He's the first defensive end with a sub 31-inch arm to be drafted in the first round since at least 1999.
Well, and that's why he slid 6 spots or
Yeah.
5, whatever. Yeah. All right. 16, man.
So
What
six.
are the Jets thinking at 16?
So first of
Did
all,
you did you like this pick?
they traded up. They gave up a 27 first round pick. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Hold on, wait a minute. Indianapolis
No, that's
traded.
for their next one, right?
No, that's this one.
No,
Indianapolis
no,
traded.
I'm saying trading the 27 first rounder. That was to get back into the first round this year, right?
No, that was this pick. Indianapolis
Oh
traded a
shit.
first round selection. No, they got a 27. Okay, this is the Sauce Gardner trade. Okay. Never mind. This is the Sauce Gardner trade.
Okay.
The next one was trading up. I
Yeah,
got.
that's what I thought. Yeah. All right, so
I don't fucking understand it.
you got Gino at quarterback. Um, I mean, I get it. You're kind of like they needed a wide receiver to go with Garrett Wilson, right? But like, man,
But also last year they drafted Mason Taylor in the second round.
yeah. I mean, it's and Taylor looked pretty good in his rookie year, man.
Uh huh.
I just it's a head scratcher for me. And Sadiq, everything that I've been hearing is that yeah, he's the top tight end in this draft class, but that he
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 had
sort of he sort of is like a clear step down from some of the tight ends we've seen in recent years in the first couple rounds. And so
a historically unproductive first round tight end. 21.2 yards per game in college is the lowest for a first round tight end in the past 15 drafts.
yeah, and so I don't know, dude. It just this was a weird one. This was a weird
Yeah.
one.
I don't I don't get this pick. It makes no fucking sense to me. Like, especially like
Definitely not a need.
definitely not a need.
Yeah, and so where do they go other than that? Because they took their defensive end. You obviously aren't going to get a quarterback here.
They traded
So
back into the first round for a wide receiver.
yeah, I was going to say, could you snag the wide receiver here or a cornerback here? or an offensive lineman. I mean, they could have done any of those. They could have done a wide receiver. They could have done an offensive lineman. Maybe cornerback was a little high, but they had like way better value in different directions, man.
Yeah, like okay, so the next wide receiver on the board was Malachi. I'm sorry.
Makai Lemon.
Yeah, Makai Lemon, who's tenth overall, and then it was yeah, which was higher than the great. Who's the top wide receiver in the draft according
Yeah.
to ESPN. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah. It's
I
perplexing.
don't I
Like
don't I don't
they want so badly to run two tight end sets. Like like what?
but to run the two tight end sets, like you need a tight end that's going to give you more than 20 yards a game.
Yeah, that's I guess that's they're banking on him having more success in the NFL than he had in college. Which is not impossible. It's just an unusual thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our homeboys, man.
I don't fucking know. Like, I hope like this is some kind of Brad Holmes magic, like finding the diamond in the rough that we could have fucking drafted in the second round and giving it and drafting him in the first round.
So
I
here's what I'm going to say, if you don't mind me just jumping in to try and quell some of your pain here, is that to me, I thought if you were going offensive lineman, Monroe Freeling just fell into our laps, and
uh,
we hit the jackpot, right? But what I've read is that they were already dead set on moving Sewell to left tackle, and Freeling, I guess I guess the transition from left tackle to right tackle has a higher bust rate than taking a natural right tackle in Blake Miller, which has a higher success rate. And they already believe Sewell's going to be totally fine at left tackle because he played there in college and he's had a little bit of like sprinkled work in over his pro career. But so basically what I read is that this was all about the probabilities of giving the Lions the strongest combination for the offensive line. I was shocked. I thought
okay,
Freeling was the
you're
pick,
gonna do
but
that.
yeah.
Okay, you're gonna do that. Draft him in the fucking second round when he would have been available.
Uh, yeah, I mean that is the tough part, right? He had the number 52 overall rank on ESPN, right? And so
But I
it's
mean,
hard to argue against that.
but seriously, like I don't get it. I don't understand.
I've warmed up to it. I've warmed up to it. But yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. The dude has a ton of starts, you know. I mean, I think that you're here's like the one thing that I like is that a lot of the analysts that I've been reading since the draft, they're saying this guy's day one ready at right tackle. And that's
You
huge.
already have the best right tackle in the league. Fucking go with a left tackle, or go somewhere else.
Well, yeah, you go Freeling at left tackle and keep Sewell at right.
Yeah, you have the best
That was
fucking right
another,
tackle in the league.
but that was the other part of the probability equation was that not only is it a lower probability to move Freeling to right tackle, it's also a lower probability that he hits at left tackle than just switching it and doing it the other way, which is all weird game theory and whatever else, which, I don't
All
know.
right,
I hear you.
I'm going to repeat it again.
I
If you
guess,
have the best right
yeah,
tackle in the league, you leave him at right tackle.
I guess I'm just trying to warm up to it because we got to live with it.
I'll eventually possibly get there, but
Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
mean,
going to take me a long time.
I think when Bain Jr. went, I was not as happy with the available edge guys. And so I thought for sure it was going to be Freeling. Blake Miller threw me for a loop, but since then I've kind of said, okay, maybe some of the logic that they're seeing behind the scenes here could hold. We're just going to have to see it happen on the field.
But I think the edge guys that went in the first round, I think Messidor is going to be a stud in the NFL. I think I don't know much about Malachi Lawrence, but then there was Falk that was still there.
No, I got you, man. I got you.
But okay, we have to live with it. Because I hate Minnesota, I love this pick.
Oh, all right. uh,
Minnesota's needs going into the draft were defensive line, offensive line, safety, wide receiver, cornerback. I don't know how the fuck wide receiver was a need.
yeah.
So I understand it fits a need. I think it was a huge reach. I thought they could have gotten offensive line or cornerback help here, which is why I'm fucking excited that they went with defensive tackle, who I don't think is gonna be as good as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the comments is that he would have been a top 10 pick if it wasn't for injuries, right? And so there's potential there. Plus, they shed a lot of pieces on defense. And so they had to sort of replenish there. But yeah, I guess to me it's like
Right, but the problem is his injuries for somebody his size is
yeah,
something that could be a nagging injury. Foot
I
problems
got you.
on a big guy is bad.
Yeah, I guess to me it's like a it remains to be seen kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
when I hear, oh, he could have been a top 10 pick, I think, ooh, you know, like I remember just what was it last year or the year before with the Dallas Turner pick where we were like, hey man, he's sliding. We better go get this guy. And then he just falls into Minnesota's lap and it's like, fuck. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like could this be a version of that is all I'm saying, like, oh, he could have been a top 10 pick and then he just slides all the way to freaking 18, man. But he did have like a 34 overall rank. So it's not, I don't know. Like I said, this pick remains to be seen for me. I'm having a hard time one way or another saying it's good or bad.
Yeah. And the pick I like. I wanted the Lions to pick. I like Carolina picking Freeling. I mean, yeah, he possibly needs offensive line safety, wide receiver, tight end, defensive line. It hits a need.
Yeah.
I think you already have Taylor Moton on the right side. Putting Freeland on the left side, I think that's going to shore up the pocket and give who's their quarterback? Bryce Young? No.
Yes.
Yeah, Bryce Young. And you're going to be able to see really what you have in Bryce Young because he's not going to be under as much pressure with the offensive line they're putting together. And it's gonna allow you to make decisions on what you need to do next year. If is Bryce Young your guy, is he not? Bryce Young, when you keep him clean, has shown flashes. When he's under pressure is when he really struggles.
Yeah.
So I like it. I really like it. I really like Freeling. I really wanted the Lions to pick Freeling.
Yeah. I can't argue this pick. I liked it overall. And I think Carolina's been, pretty stupid with what they've been doing with their team in the last couple of years. But I think this was a sharp move for them, man.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the see ya, AJ Brown. You're out of here. Pick in Makai Lemon.
Yeah, my thing here is, it's not as much about
Here's
the pick, but it's about what I've seen and read after the pick on how they sniped Pittsburgh to get him. And this part
Mhm.
to me is a little weird, right? Because there was a report that Howie Roseman called Makai Lemon.
Go ahead.
And
You want to say hi? Well,
sure, you want me to pause it?
yeah, pause.
All right, so back on
Being
Philly.
recorded.
And here's what I wanted
Yes.
to say, man, is that I don't understand. I mean, well, it's not that I don't understand. I guess I'm wondering like if there needs to be some kind of like tampering rules for what happened with this pick because the
Oh,
the
there
thing
is. There
yeah
is.
the thing
Pittsburgh's. Go ahead. Sorry.
or yeah, because I was going to say the thing I heard is that Howie Roseman called even though they weren't on the clock, and because Makai Lemon didn't answer right away, he assumed another team was letting him know, "Hey, we're going to pick you." And they obviously assumed it had to be Pittsburgh because they were coming up, and so that prompted him to make the trade to get ahead of Pittsburgh. It just seems like to me that that's a little bit shady, man. Like there's got to be something that like blocks you from calling a prospect until you're on the board, man, or until you're on the clock or something. I don't know.
So what the rule is you can call a prospect, you can call somebody if you're not on the clock, as long as it doesn't hinder the team that is on the clock from calling.
Okay, and
So the thing
Pittsburgh
with it
wasn't
is,
technically on the clock yet.
right, and Philadelphia had already traded before they called Makai Lemon,
Oh,
and
see,
they
no,
couldn't
I
get
I heard it was
through
the
to
other way
Makai Lemon.
around. See, I heard Roseman
I
called, and because he didn't answer right away, it made him think we need to trade now to get him, or we're going to lose him.
see. I had heard that they called him while they were on the clock and couldn't get
Okay.
through to him,
See, that's a whole
and that's
different
why
thing
it
then.
took.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing then. Because yeah, I heard it was Howie Roseman working his magic, you know, with his tricks to get where he needed to be. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not a trick to get ahead. That's pushing some boundaries in my opinion. But okay, if it's the way that you're saying it is, then I guess I'm okay with it. I just thought, wow, it seemed a little shady the way I heard it go down, man.
All right, so let's see this. Oops.
And yeah, obviously with AJ Brown, and everything going on with him, they're just mitigating that because the expectation is he's gone. So,
Yeah. Let's see. There's blah blah blah. As I mentioned. Ah, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Like my screens just went all fucked up, and so I was trying to look it up real quick on it, and yeah. So another pick. I'm calling him in the green room to let him know. Instead, though,
And then I guess it's like, then how could it be wrong if Pittsburgh had him on the phone, but they weren't on the clock? So it's like, man, like you can just be calling anybody anytime. It just seems like there could be some weird collusion or something could happen without more protocol in place.
All right. So here's the report. Pittsburgh Steelers, blah blah blah. Sorry for that. Lee could look into Steelers' phone call with Lemon, which made it difficult for Philly to get in contact with him. Which teams are allowed to contact representatives of draft prospects as long as these calls do not interfere with talks between a player and the team on the clock.
Yeah, so it's almost
Doesn't
like
that
then,
explains why they could look?
so then it's almost like Pittsburgh was in the wrong if Philly was on the clock.
Yeah,
I don't know, just the whole thing seems fishy to me. That's all I'm saying, is that it just seems like somewhere, somehow, somebody did something that they weren't supposed to. And the way I heard it is that Howie Roseman was like sneaky and got a pick that he wouldn't have normally gotten if he hadn't like done what he did to make it happen. But then it goes the other way. Well, why was Pittsburgh on the phone with him if they weren't on the clock? Because the report I heard is that Pittsburgh had him on the phone and was saying, "Hey, we're about to draft you. You know, get ready to come to Pittsburgh." And then it was like, "Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean Philly's drafted me?"
yeah, I'm trying to
It's very confusing, the reports, man.
blah blah blah.
It's all right. We don't have to like stick on it all night. I just,
Yeah, I wanted to look. I hadn't heard the report that the other side. The reporting I had heard or had read was where Philly traded up, tried to call him, and he was on the phone with Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Pittsburgh Thursday night, blah blah blah. Clubs that are not on the clock may have discussions with representatives of one or more draft eligible players not yet selected, or discussion with the player regarding the player's interest in playing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on it, but
Okay.
I had heard that Philly was on the clock, tried to call him and couldn't get through because tried to call him, couldn't get through, and apparently there's a video of him talking to Pittsburgh, looking at the phone and say, "Hey, why's Philly calling?"
Yeah. Because they're taking you. All right. Well, it's weird.
Anyways, I like the
Yeah.
pick for for Philly. I really like Makai Lemon. I think he's going to be be a good second one. Ironically, Philly traded with Dallas to pick Makai Lemon. The
Yeah.
last time Philly and Dallas traded first round picks, Philly traded up to draft Devonta Smith.
Gotcha. Wide receiver 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Pittsburgh. I'll let you say this guy's name again. You get the hard names.
Max.
Max I am not sure.
Ianachor.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. And
Look,
so offensive lineman was one of their top needs. So I'm okay with that, even though he had a second round grade. It just it seemed like the Makai Lemon thing had him reeling. And so when all this was happening in the draft, it was like, well, wait a minute, like they weren't even maybe even really wanting this guy, and it just kind of ended up being that that's how they had to do it.
yeah, and so I think it was a little bit of a reach here for Max. I thought Caleb Lomu was better.
Okay. Yeah, is that because this guy is I mean, this guy is planning on playing tackle. I was going to say, is the expectation that this guy's going to move in? One of the biggest risers in the pre-draft process.
He has an inconsistent punch on film and struggles to consistently harness power.
Yeah,
At times, he can also be overpowered if he's off balance.
gotcha. Yeah, and so then I guess my question is, you see the next wide receiver is KC Concepcion. He had a higher overall ranking, and then you even had Omar Cooper Jr. with a 24 overall ranking. It's almost like if you didn't get Mekhi Lemon, did you really like this Max guy that much more than these other wide receivers, or did it just turn into like a panic in Pittsburgh and they went this way? And I hate saying it that way, but I just feel like Pittsburgh is going to shit, man.
Yeah. So with Omar Cooper Jr., I think that's a good comparison for Mekhi Lemon. Not as good, but I think they have similar style games,
Sure.
and I thought that would have been a natural pick.
Yeah. Either way, they get an offensive lineman, probably going to do them good. It just seems strange, the sequence of events.
Yeah, it seems real strange, but
All right, and then the Chargers at 22. So here's my thing. I don't I don't know why I feel this way. I really don't, because Messidor was 18 on the ESPN best available list, but something about this pick just seemed like it was forced. like they had to get an edge guy, and that they just got it. I, I think I'm looking at it wrong, where it's like, hey, the guy fell to him, and it was a perfect fit, and it's great. But like, I don't know. It just something about this one. That's the only thing. It's like it makes so much sense that somehow it's messing me up. Like, no, they've let all their edge guys go. Well, I guess they got Khalil Mack back for one more year, right, or whatever. But
mhm.
it's like, I don't know, dude. I
So
don't know.
here's the thing with it. Like offensive line wise, the offensive line need was more interior offensive line, which I thought
And
outside
they
of
and,
Penn
and they
State
have
guy
guys
would have been a
coming back
reach.
from injury, right?
Yeah, the X here, the offensive tackles, I thought they had solid offensive tackles. It's just they were hurt.
Yeah,
So then you go to defensive line. I thought defensive line would have been a reach. DB would have been a reach. Wide receiver might have made sense here, but wide receiver or edge. And when it comes down to it, with Messidor has a higher rating than any of the wide receivers, because all the wide receivers that were here were I'm sorry, Cooper Jr. was a first round grade. The other one, Concepcion, was a second round grade. um, I think it's a good pick. I like the pick. I don't know. I'm hard pressed to say they should have gone somewhere else with this pick based on how the
yeah.
board fell.
No, I got you, and I don't know why it's not sitting right with me, because, like I'm saying, like everything logically makes it make sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just second guessing Jim Harbaugh for some reason. So
All right, then we go to Dallas, who they're probably like, fuck, we shouldn't have traded back.
I do, even though I questioned the safety pick early on, I do like that Dallas doubled down on defense.
Mm-hmm. I like they doubled down on defense. I thought Falk would have been a better pick.
Yeah, so you got Malachi Lawrence was the 54th. Falk was the 25th. That's a big difference, man. And shit, I like Falk's size, 6'5", 276. But, it depends on what you're trying to have these guys do and what your vision is for that defense, I guess.
Yeah, and also like when you read the analysis, when you everything I'm reading about this pick is Malachi Lawrence really was their target here.
Okay.
They were really high on him. They traded back. I don't personally like the pick, but it makes sense if that's your guy and you trade back, get some
Go
other
get him.
pieces and take him. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I can't bitch too much, man. I think it's like I said, I was more concerned about the safety earlier on. When
Yeah.
they got this pick, I thought, okay, you know what? Now you got two sharp guys on the defense. And that
Hmm.
was kind of like what held them back big time last year. So it was good. And then back to Cleveland.
Okay. Cleveland, everything I'm reading, and they should have fucking pivoted, but they didn't. Casey Concepcion was the wide receiver they anticipated being available here.
Mm-hmm.
When with Omar Cooper Jr. being available here, they didn't pivot to the better wide receiver.
Oh, they just stuck to the guy that they thought was going to be there, even though a better guy slid.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, because you do have a difference in the grades, right? I mean, you got an 87 for Cooper Jr. and an 86 for Conception. So they're close in the grade, man.
But
So Cooper
also,
primarily in the slot. So Conception's like a field stretcher versus a slot guy, right?
I think they did it backwards. If you go to the second round, I think they did it
Yeah.
backwards. I thought if they're how they did it, they should have done Boston in the first, Concepcion in the second.
Yeah, it's a little weird too because Conception's got a drop issue. I don't like taking wide receivers in the first round that have drop issues.
Yeah, exactly.
But once again, okay, you're protecting your potential mix of quarterbacks. Now you're giving them one more weapon. You got Judy. Now you got this guy. They have a young good tight end in Fannin. So it's like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, they probably could squeeze a little bit more out of it. I got you.
And then we get to the Bears,
Yep.
which I hate this pick. I hate this pick because I hate the Bears, and this is the safety that I thought Dallas should have taken,
Okay.
and unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I mean, it was their top need, right, for
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. And this late in the first round, this is where I'm comfortable taking a premium
I'm
safety.
sorry, I didn't mean Dallas because I forgot Dallas took Caleb Downs, and I like Downs. Okay, go ahead. Now I've lost my.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I thought, at 25, this is where it's safe to go after one of the premium safeties in the
Yeah.
first round. And especially because it was their top need. And, they did get some value. ESPN 20th rank. They take them at 25. Yeah, they could have gone offensive lineman, or maybe, you go after one of these defensive linemen. But this, I think, when you look at the nature of their defense and Brisker leaving and whatever else they had going on, uh, plus, man, I mean, Thiemann, they're saying has a very high ceiling. So this could have been a very smart pick for them, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I like him. I think he's going to
Yeah,
be
that's
a
why you don't like it.
phenomenal safety. I
you
just
you
don't
like
like
it
it
because you
because it's the
don't like it.
Bears.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
All right. Then Houston traded up. Um, uh, where is it? They traded with. 26. Buffalo. They gave up first and a third for a first, third, and fifth. Wow. Houston got the better end of that deal.
Yeah, they needed help on the offensive line. You
So
know,
yeah,
was this?
Houston. No. So Houston gave up, or no, sorry, I had it backwards. That makes more sense. Houston got the 26th and 91st for the 28th, 69th, and 167th. Okay, I had it. I read it backwards. I can't really argue much with this pick. I think it was a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, I did scratch my head a little bit, but then I kind of thought, well, you need the
But
offensive line that
it
bad.
makes sense. Their offensive line was freaking terrible.
Yeah,
Like it makes sense. I thought it was a bit of a reach, and you don't know if they didn't trade up, what would have been there.
yeah.
They get 28 because as like New England traded up, Miami needed a lot
Oh yeah, Miami.
on the offensive
Yeah,
line. Like it kind of I can wrap my head around it, but I still think it was a bit of a reach.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, I'm good with it, even though it was a bit of a stretch. But yeah, it's just they're trying to protect homie at quarterback Stroud, knowing that man, when he has pressure on him, he is just a totally different kind of quarterback, man.
Yeah, and then Miami traded up. Yeah, they traded up from 30 to get a cornerback that probably would have been available at 30.
Yeah, is it just because cornerback was thin here that maybe they just said, you know what, we got to get the guy, we don't want to risk it?
It's possible.
Because
I don't.
cornerback was one of their top needs, but it is, we talk about it a lot, or I talk about it a lot. Cornerback's a high bust rate in the first round. And so it's yeah, you need the guy, but man, don't go and give up unnecessary picks for what's a higher risk kind of a position.
Yeah, and like the teams that ended up in front of them because they didn't know New England was going to trade up. New England didn't need a cornerback. Um, Kansas City already drafted a cornerback. They could have doubled down. Maybe Houston should have gone with a DB, but
Yeah.
when they traded up, San Francisco, their need was in the secondary was safety. I don't think Miami had to trade up for it, especially a guy with a second round grade. With like you say, the high bust rate of first round corners, it's a risk.
Yeah. Well, Miami's not exactly making smart choices these days, right? So,
And also, there were better cornerbacks available.
yeah, I guess that was the thing that I was wondering is who else was there at cornerback? Well, I mean, you had McCoy, which was the risk, but I guess you still had
You had
Avion Terrell.
Avion Terrell, Colton Hood.
Yeah, Colton Hood. Yep. Yeah, and then I guess Brandon Cisse, however you say his name, but he's like right there with Chris Johnson. So,
Yeah.
all right, it is what it is, man. It's not the end of the world, but I got you.
Uh, then we have a pick I absolutely love. No, yeah. Pick I absolutely love that New England traded up for. I thought he should have gone a little bit earlier than here. then here, based on how the offensive tackles were going, I would have been happy with him going to the Lions instead of whoever Carter, whoever the fuck the Lions draft. I can't remember his name now.
Talking Blake
Blake
Miller, man.
Miller. Yeah. But then again, that is the Lions' position with trading Sewell, or not trading, moving Sewell to the left, which I fucking hate. I thought like Lomo could have been a fucking amazing left tackle in the league. Definite need for New England with how Will Campbell struggled in, in the playoff Super Bowl, but he was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pick. They got smoked in the freaking Super Bowl because their offensive line was garbage, and you got to do something about it. I would have preferred that they they were better positioned to not have to take a tackle this
Mm-hmm.
early, but it's just where they were at, man. And so I don't know what else you could do.
I don't know either. Like I'm saying, like I like the pick for them.
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that he
yeah.
was.
I mean, I would have liked the Cooper Jr. to them here if they didn't have that embarrassment in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I would say get your wide receiver, but you know,
But also we don't know what's going to happen. Heavy reporting that AJ Brown's being traded to New England. They're
that's
just waiting until
true. Yeah,
after
there's
June
that
1st.
connection. Yeah.
So
I got you.
then we get to defensive tackle. I like the pick for. I'm sorry, defensive tackle. Kansas City, who took defensive tackle Peter Woods. I like the pick for Kansas City here. If you're going
Yeah.
to pick a defensive tackle, I think like like Minnesota did, and this is why I hate Minnesota's pick. Is I think this is a better defensive tackle
Okay.
than the guy Minnesota picked, but we will see. Um,
Yeah, this guy's got like a little bit of a Chris Jones kind of profile, right? He can line up
mhm.
inside or outside. And so maybe they're looking at that as, an heir apparent for his role on that defensive line, which I think Kansas City needed to revamp things on the defense. And
Yeah,
so, you know, a good pick in my opinion.
no, it's a good pick. I was surprised that I was just saying I was surprised that he was still here for
Yeah,
Kansas City to pick.
yeah,
Then this is where the Jets traded back into the first round,
yep.
and it was uh, from San Francisco. Gave San Francisco moved back 3 spots, got a 179th after getting this pick in the 90th for a first and fourth. I I question this pick as a real need for the Jets.
Yeah, my whole thing was, hey, if you're going to take 3 shots in the first round, 2 of them should be defense, not the
Uh-huh.
other way around. But I thought, don't take 3 shots in the first round. Keep your first rounders for next year to go after the quarterback. And I don't know. So I thought that
Well, see, but that's the thing is they still have their first rounders next year.
they had to get rid of one of the first rounders to get this pick.
No, they get they got the 30th pick for the 33rd and 179th.
Oh, all right. Well then, I guess that's more palatable. But still, it's why you go on offense when your defense didn't have a single pick last year.
Yeah,
Just,
and they still have two
uh,
first rounders next year.
yeah. All right. So they're still in play to get the quarterback next year.
Yeah, they're
I
still in
would,
play to get the quarterback
yeah.
next year. I question going tight end, wide receiver. I question wide receiver. I question both tight end and wide receiver as true first round needs.
Yeah.
I thought I thought you could have gone edge, double down on the edge. You could have gone to the offensive line. I thought there
Oh,
was
I would
other.
have thought, they would have, I would have thought edge and then something in the secondary because you got to get some picks.
Yeah,
Um, and they
and
had
and you traded
options.
your best. You traded your best secondary.
Yeah.
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 So
It just, I don't know. To me, it just a strange sequence. It's like you want to win with offense, but you're not Kellen Moore and the Saints.
mhm.
You're Aaron Glenn and the Jets. You should try to win with defense, my man. Ah, which is just it's wrong. It's wrong because when it doesn't work, he's going to blame the offense.
Mhm.
And it's going to be like, but wait, dude, your specialty was the defense and you neglected it.
No, 100%. I wish they would have gone defense. They chose not to.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What do you think about this next Tennessee pick?
I like the pick.
I thought it was a redemption pick for
It
Salah.
was. It was. I thought this was a great pick. I thought he should have like this is another guy that I would have rather the Lions take over Blake Miller.
Okay. Well, I guess I didn't see enough about Falk going into it to get excited. When they picked him here, I thought, oh man, I like his size. I like what I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing. I got more hyped up on him later, but I looked at it purely as a hey, this is great for Salah's defense, man.
It is, and this is and like the analysis. This is his well. First of all, his pro comp is Eric Armstead, who Salah had in San Francisco.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, this is just such a natural fit for Tennessee,
Yeah,
and they didn't give up that much to move back into the first round. So they moved up 4 spots. They got the 69th and 165th for so they got 31st, 69th, 165 for 35th, 66th, and 101. So they didn't have to give up that much to get a guy that's such a natural fit for Salah's defense.
yeah, yeah. I think it was a good move, man. I'm digging it.
Then we're on to the last pick of the first round, which I have big fucking issues with. All right, yeah, quote unquote, running back was a need. Still have fucking Charbonnet.
Correct. And
Okay,
they
so
and what's his face that was backing up Kenneth Walker in the Super Bowl.
oh
They were talking real big about him, man. Oh man.
Wilson. No, no,
No,
no,
no,
no. That's
no,
the
the other
running.
guy. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
It's okay. But yeah, I mean it's, it seems strange. I think that, for Seattle, the thing is it's when you just win the Super Bowl like this, you are in a position where you can take a luxury pick. And with Kenneth Walker gone, technically running back became a higher need for them. And so they took the luxury pick.
They took the luxury pick. They took a ridiculously dumb pick because you don't draft the first round running back to be a two-headed monster.
All right, I'm flipping to day two to see who they could have got. I mean, I would have maybe freaking Chase Basantis, lock up that offensive line. You know, I
Yeah, they
mean,
could have gotten Basantis. Let me see. They another need edge. They could have gotten the guy from from. Nah.
Yeah, get a wide receiver, take a little heat off of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a Denzel Boston spot, man.
DB was in need. They could have gotten Colton Hood.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm gonna get upset about it, I would say I would have preferred Denzel Boston here
Or they could have
because
gotten Avian Terrell.
yeah,
Like, there's so much other picks they could have gone, other ways they could have gone here, and probably still gotten their running back at 64.
yeah. So I'm just looking this up real quick. Oh, George Holani. That's the guy they talked up big going into the Super Bowl behind Kenneth Walker. Well,
Uh,
if you're going to talk him up that big, man, why do you need to draft a guy in the first round? Maybe they were just talking him up big to give him some confidence. I don't know, but still, I hear what you're saying. And the thing is with Ja'Jarian Price, he's not like a big bruising back, man. He's 5'11", 203 pounds. You know, I think it's good complimentary, but like you're saying, you know, is it first round pick worthy? I do like him. I do like his tape. I agree that the pick and the situation and everything is a little bit off.
yeah, he's not an inside runner. He's an outside runner. That's kind of not what you need.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Uh, all right. All in all, I
All in
don't think
all,
there
a
were I
lot
don't
of
think there were too
teams
many. Yeah.
fucked up. Like 15 teams, I would have picked differently on. Not, I'm being hyperbolic. Probably,
Yeah.
probably closer to 10.
I mean, even with that, I don't think that too many teams really went that crazy in the first round.
No,
I
they
think a
didn't.
lot of them you could say, okay, they were fairly reasonable. Like you didn't see like some weird shit where a guy like really, really reached and it was like, oh, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Well, you did, but you can make the argument why it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's been as extreme as we've seen some random picks in past years. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. Like, you saw picks that were head scratchers. You thought were reaches, but you can make the argument on why it makes sense. It's just a
Yeah.
preference on it because it generally fit a need, with the exception
Uh,
of Kenyon Sadiq at 16.
yeah, I mean, he was a first round grade. It just
He was a
the
first round grade, but
yeah.
I don't understand what the Jets need a tight end for. But that's me.
No, they don't. All right, my man. We got a minute to go. Questions, comments, concerns? Sounded like you got dinner that you got to
Yeah,
get running to.
we got dinner.
All right. Well, hey, it was fun. You enjoy your dinner, my man. I'll catch you next week. We'll figure out what day we're doing it.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, bud. See ya.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut, hut, hike.